Oh boy, this video is gonna piss a lot of people off. Now, before you leave a dislike already and leave a nasty comment below without seeing the video first, and just go by the title, I have a few things to say first. Do I want Pokemon Legends Arceus to fail? Absolutely not. Do I think that this is going to be a shit game? Absolutely not. We don't have enough evidence to prove that it is a good or a bad game. Because what do you have to go with? The trailer, which is pretty much in a pre-alpha state at best. You can't judge if a game's good or bad just by that alone. However, there's been one thing that I noticed recently when they gave a little bit more information on the release dates and the pre-orders for Diamond and Pearl remakes and Legends Arceus. And judging by what I've seen, this could mean bad news in terms of the sales numbers for Legends Arceus. A game's success does not entirely depend on whether the game is good or bad. It really comes down to how many copies this game sells. Now let's take a look at the dates for these two games, shall we? Diamond and Pearl remakes are going to be coming out in November 19th to be exact, which is to be expected for many Pokemon games. Usually the main series games are released around right before the holiday season, so that way they can get as many sales as possible. However, with Legends Arceus, this game is going to be released January 28th of 2022. Now, I understand they said early 2022, but I was thinking April, March at the earliest. No, this is January of 2022, which is not a good time to release a video game. Well, first of all, it's only 2 months away from Diamond and Pearl remakes, so you're not really giving a lot of space in between releases. I understand that Legends Arceus is going to be a different game of the sort, but in a way it's also not, because keep in mind, it may be a different concept of the whole Pokemon formula, but the foundation is still the same. So in a way, this game is too similar to the Diamond and Pearl remakes to grant sales for the casual player. Excluding the superfans, most people who buy the Diamond and Pearl remakes will not see a reason to buy Legends Arceus considering how similar of a game they look. I'm not talking about you guys watching the video. Obviously, us superfans of Pokemon have a different opinion on it. So we may see this game a lot different than the average Joe. But remember, the majority of the sales for these games is from casual players, believe it or not. And because these games are so close to each other, many people are not going to find a reason to have two similar looking games or similar feeling games in that time span. It's too close to each other. Another thing too, and this is extremely baffling, is it's right after the holiday season. Like, right after the holiday season. Once again, going back to my previous point, most parents and casual players are going to be like, well, I already got Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl for my family or whatever for Christmas. Why am I going to need... I just spent a bunch of money on the Pokemon game as it is. Why am I going to buy this game too? I just got one. I know that sounds crazy to think, but that is a thing. The fact that you're releasing a game right after the point where customers spend the most money, and by the January, February area, they're trying to save the money they just spent for the holiday season. So you're shooting yourself in the foot. You're going to be losing so many sales just because of the release date itself. And it still baffles me to this day why they would do that. I'm not saying that everyone that buys Diamond and Pearl remakes isn't going to buy Legends Arceus. Obviously, that is not true. But like I said, the majority of the casual fans will stick to one game, and let's face it, they're probably not even going to finish it by the time Legends Arceus comes out. Maybe they will, but still. To bring this point up again, yes, I understand that Legends Arceus is more of like an open world type of game. But to the average consumer, it's still a Pokemon game where you run around and catch Pokemon in the Sinnoh region. Same region too, keep that in mind. So there's going to be a moment where most casual fans will not have the ambition or the reason to purchase a very similar game. And because of that, it doesn't even matter whether or not Legends Arceus is good or not. Because of the release window, you are already preemptively making this game fail financially. What's very weird too is that the last time they ever released a Pokemon game in January was Fire Red and Leaf Green in Japan. Yeah, I looked it up. That's true. So why are they releasing this game specifically in January of all times when like none other game did at that point? Well, I have a couple of reasons. Number one, the fiscal year for the Pokemon Company ends in February. So this could mean that they're trying to get as many sales as possible for all these projects right before the fiscal year ends. Maybe they're fully relying on pre-orders to make this game sell. I mean, they've seen the positive reception for the trailer, which, in my opinion, don't base anything off of a trailer. This comparison I'm about to make is stretching it, but what about Cyberpunk 2077? How many pre-orders did that game get? And how many people got screwed when they got the finished product? Never pre-order anything. I know that what I just said just makes me sound like a hypocritical bastard because, well, why wouldn't I pre-order? You just said that the game's going to fail and I want to support it. You don't have to pre-order it or buy it day one. Do your research first. You come first. Don't screw yourself out of $60. If the game is really good and all the reviews are like super positive, well, except for ones like IGN where they literally suck Pokemon Company's dick the whole time, but like legitimate reviews that show positivity, then show your support and buy the game and make it successful. I don't want this to be one of those moments where our expectations are Breath of the Wild, but what we get is a wild area more barren than a fucking beta. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, the fans come first, not the Pokemon Company's fucking financial status. Now, I know that's really tough to admit that, especially I can already see the Pokemon Company be like, well, you guys didn't buy the game, so we're not going to make another one because it didn't sell. Like, do they want this game to fail on purpose? Are they like that against trying something new that they want to make this game fail on purpose just so they could go back to half-assing the main series games and making easy money? Yeah, that's a conspiracy theory that's really fucking stretching it. But what other reason is there to release a game in January? What other video games release in January? Tell me. I mean, there's gotta be some, but still, that January is, by a business standpoint, one of the worst times to release a game. Because it's right after the holiday season when people are trying to save money from all the shit that they bought in December or November. Well, if you thought my last conspiracy theory was bizarre, I got another one for you. There's only one other reason why I could possibly think selling this game in January is a good idea. And it still has to do with right before the fiscal year and they want to make a bunch of sales. What if there is DLC for Diamond and Pearl remakes, but the only way to get it is by getting Legends Arceus? Yeah, I went there. I know that's just me being the most pessimistic piece of shit on the planet, but what other reasons are there? It's Legends Arceus. It wouldn't surprise me if they locked Arceus from the remakes behind this game. Or maybe even more than that. I already made up that stupid conspiracy theory about there being a Platinum Expansion Pass, but for all we know, Legends Arceus is the Platinum Expansion Pass. It's not confirmed, and I'm just thinking this off the top of my head, but it's possible. It's maybe like a 5% chance of happening, but judging by this company's actions lately, it wouldn't surprise me if that was true. Like I said, this is just speculation and me this thinking of possible reasons why this release date is a good idea, because, like, seriously, Pokemon Company, what's the reason? Are you relying on pre-orders? Are you making this game fail on purpose just so you don't have, so just so you can just blame the customers and go back to your shitty half-assed ways. Like that's my biggest fear with Diamond and Pearl remakes. This literally looks like an example of their shitty half-assed ways. By the way, guys, how dare you make the box art of Diamond and Pearl remakes so unbelievably detailed when the finished product looks like a fucking mobile game? That is a kick to the balls and a middle finger to all loyal fans that wanted something better. I kind of half understand the route they were going for, like literally like keeping the one-to-one remake sort of thing, like literally taking almost everything and just turning it into 3D, but isn't me, or does it seem like that's an easy way out? Still, you can't have box art that looks this good when the finished product looks like this. That is so bad, it's borderline bait and switch. Pun intended, I guess. Now, like I said in the beginning of this video, do I want this game to fail? Absolutely not. If Game Freak is actually trying their hardest and making a game that is worth $60, of course I'm going to try to support it. But I'm not going to pre-order it. You don't have to pre-order something the moment you get the opportunity to prove yourself that you're a real fan. You don't. I understand that some fans think that they have to buy the game either way just to prove that they are supportive of the company. But that isn't true. I consider myself a real fan too, regardless of all the negativity I'm giving. You know why? Is because when I see the franchise go in a direction I don't like, and I know the fans deserve better, I give my opinion on things. And I have to point out the flaws. You can't improve on yourself if you ignore the flaws. It's just simple as that. A good fan will show support, but a true fan will show some tough love on occasion.